Hello subscribers, it's me again. Today just going through my fishing tackle box. I've gone through loads of fishing tackle boxes. I've gone through the big box, which is awkward to carry. I've gone for plastic box. This one's about my 5th tackle box I've had, and it's the best. What I'm basically doing as well is, I've had some questions from some people, is I'm going to check my traces, because I will be going fishing soon, and there's one particular trace I like, is the real flatfish rig. The real flatfish rig is what I found when I used to get magazines in the early 90s, and one of the traces was in, I don't know if it's a sea angler, but it's a guy that was fishing in Wirral, and apparently he won 2 competitions 2 years running using this Wirral flatfish rig, and I do like it. I will do a bit of a setup on it. This is my trace setup. As you can see, there's the line, there's the bead to crimp, bead, crimp, with a swivel running up and down it in the middle. There's the swivel. It's a bit of fading because I ain't used it for a long time. And this is a Wirral flatfish rig. It's like a 2-hook flapper really, but the difference is between there and there, it's about 6 inches apart, something like that, is crimp and a bead, and you've got a swivel that goes up and down. I don't know why, but I love this rig, and I will make one of them later on. I'm actually in a real group up in North somewhere, just having a chat, and they were quite interested, but no one's heard the Wirral flatfish rig. I've still got a bit of paper of it, but I'll be trying that later on. And this one is my flatfish, another flatfish, which is the wishbone rig. We can see the traces I do. My wishbone rig, and the one and only favourite is the pennel rig. These are my bits of wood that I use when I do traces. It's basically only 3 traces I like. So that's what I'm going to have a go later on. So we'll be back in a minute. Okay, this is my tackle box I use now. It's the best one I've ever had. Here's all the bits I've got. There you go. Here's all the bits I have. My beads, my setup, pulley rigs, booms, one of them, and there's my beads. I love this kit, it's much better. As I said, I used to have the box, but I found it very, very awkward. There's my hooks. There's some of me traces. There's me tiny hooks. I've got some tiny hooks, but there's all me hooks and all that bits and bobs. And then my box of weights. These are my favourites. These are called the Old Devices bait tubes. There's a bigger one there, but they don't make them anymore, but Vils do make a different type. I can't remember the actual name, but I love these. There's my weight box. And there's my other bits. The old glow sticks. I remember in the 92, I started getting my rods out with my friends. I remember when these first come out, these glow sticks, they come from America. And they weren't very, very popular in the UK. But they recommend it goes on the bottom of your trace, just by your hook. And I didn't have much luck with them. I remember when these come out, but I use them for rod tips now. Put them on my rod tips. I've got loads of them. But that's my trace box. This one's broken. That's my trace box. And there's some other little bits of traces I do, most of them hooks. And there's me other stuff. I just love this bag. It seems to be much better now. Me plier clips, crimp clips, scissors, distorter, and all that. And the rest of the stuff on the side of here. So, if I put these, if I can get this out. This one, this comes with the side. And there's my spare batteries. And a few more, but these, I don't know if a lot of people don't like these, but this is a C-bite. I love these. I use these all the time. Especially if you're busy doing something and you miss a bite and this makes a sound. I have got a YouTube video on this. But that's my fishing box. Quite pleased with it. I love it. Right, okay, here's my real flatfish gear I'll be using. £50 shot leader line, which I always use. I love this stuff. And there's me clip for the weight, crimp, 2 miniature swivels, and I mean I do like small stuff, the beads, and a quick fit link that fits on the main line. This is what I'm going to be setting up on in a minute, which I will do. And I will. Okay, this is the real flatfish rig I was on about. So what I'm going to do is I've got all my patterns here. So obviously, I bought crimping. Bought a crimping. Where did I get there? There's a crimp. Then obviously a bead. A beady. And then me tiny swivel. And then another bead. If I'll get it in it. A bead. Then a crimp. Then a crimp.
I'll tell you what, the fog was so thick down here, it was dangerous this morning. I'm glad we didn't come up to you early today.
Crimp. My eyes are terrible. There you go, there's a crimp. So there's that bit, which goes here. Then the other half, I need another crimp. Bead. Swivel. Bead. And a crimp. I don't know what you think of these bits of wood, but that's how I've always done mine. And I noticed one of the subscribers, which is well known fishing shop, uses bigger bits of wood, but I just used the 3. That's my traces. I did start to buy them, but I love this rig. So there's me crimped, and then the other end is my, as you know, the bit the weight goes on. I just do 3 turns, 4. You keep turning it. I don't know what other people use, but I use this. I used to fish 2 times a month, but not so much now. Because I do just start to do a bit of freshwater fishing. And I don't do much night fishing now. Stick that in there, Joaquin. Stick that in there. Give it a lube, pull as much as I can. Use my pinchies. I do. And there you go. That's all I've got to do. Right. I've got that on there. I don't know if you can see it. Let's make sure you can see it. Yeah. This is a quick link. I do use these. A lot of people don't like them, but I've been using these. And there's me crimped. So what I want to do now is look for, I think I can zoom in. If I zoom in, turn around a little bit, as you can see, I am not going to put a bait clip on because I am going to use my device. So the hooks will be very long. So there you go. So I'll move this up. Move that one either way. Here's my crimp. I'm going to crimp that. These pliers are made up work. Give it a squeeze. Yep. And the other end, a squeeze. That end. These need oiling. So what you got is this swivel moves up and down. I don't know why, but this is called a real flatfish rig. And a bloke won a competition in this in the 90s. And his rig and his story was on a sea angler, I think, I'm not sure. But I do love this rig. I use this rig mostly. So if I do that bit, I can move up the other end and do the other half, which is here where my finger is. So if I move this crimp up, at least I'll get the right size all the time. Yeah, tight. Move that down. Crimp. There you go. That's that one. Move it. No. There you go. It looks like a 2-quart flapper, really, basically. But this one's called, as I said, a real flatfish rig. I got off a guy. And tell the truth, I've caught, you won't believe it, I caught cod, ray, whiting, bass, the odd rockland. I've caught everything on this trace, real flatfish rig. And I've used it all the time. I love it. So what I'm going to do now is, now I've done that, as you can see, right, this is the real flatfish rig. That's all it is. Real flatfish rig. This is the book I mentioned. This has got to be 30 years old. This book must be at least, yeah, 30, 35 years old. When I used to start fishing, I used to cut all the bits out of the magazines, the actual rings. That one's fixed spool and that one's multiplier. As you can see, the multiplier's got more rings than a fixed spool. I've got all little traces, little ideas, and there's my favourite knot for reel line and shot leader. Oh, I've had this years. And if I can find the page, see all the marks. This is when I first started fishing. It is when I just get a few hints. And there's me real flash fish rig. Bloody loves it. There's the sizes, 12 inch, 9, 12, 9. At least I've got the sizes for you. But that's my little magic book. Right, what I've got now is I found some hooks. Here's me hooks. I've got 2 of these to go on my wheel flat fish rig. I know it's an Aberdeen. I don't know what size, I can't remember what size hook it is. I like to have a little bit smaller. But this is my trace. But what I do with my rigs, I've got the swivel, but I always use these. So I can chop and change different rigs, size hooks. If I want to put a bigger hook on and change my mind, I want to go for bigger fish, I'll remove this from the trace, and every single hook, there's me hook, and there's me, look, these are miniature ones, miniature Gemini clips, but I love these. These are all on my hook snoots, so I can chop and change them instead of snapping the line and putting a new one on. So all I've got to do is clip it on the swivel, but first I need to put my glasses on because I can't see bugger all. Clip it on the swivel, put that one on, there you go. I've clipped it on, and if I want to change hooks, all I do is remove that, clean my hook and put a smaller hook on or bigger hook, or even change the length of snoods. And then my other hook, which is at the other end, all I do is get my Gemini clip and hook to that one. And all my hook lengths, snoods are all got these swivels, and I'll just remove them. As you can see, it's going up and down. Once I've done that, the reason I've left this on here is why they're longer, because I use, this is a device. I've got a new one here. Shame the company shut down. This is a device. I knew the bloke, his name was Rob, that invented these. Him and his partner spent 50 grand building these and getting these right. But it took him 5 years to get these right, he said. Because it's something to do with the angle on the tube. Then his mate let him down, and another company took over and brought the deeds off of them, and then they went bankrupt, and now I think Vil sells another sort from another company. I brought a box of these for 200 quid because they were hard to get hold of. Yeah, it was about 200 quid up north, and he said, I can't sell them deliver, I just want them out the shop. I said, I'll give you 200 quid, and there was about 380 devices of these. But they were the grey tubes, and half of them are sold on eBay, and I made nearly 300 quid just selling half of them. Most of them went up in Cornwall, and I used to get messages, have you got any more? And I said, no, I haven't, but I know Vils do sell similar to this now, so someone has taken over, but this is a device. But I know some people moan and said no, they're useless because sometimes when you cast them, the bait flies out because there's your water flowing there when it hits the beach. But what I do, if I can demonstrate, if you imagine a worm is on this device, what I do, as I was saying, you've got your worms on the hooks, I just put them through the head, I put this through there, and what I do, 2 sheets of toilet paper, you've got your line hanging in, and this is the sea, so what I do is plonk that in, there you go, let that dangle out, and what I do is push it down, push the toilet paper, I don't know if it's 2 or 3 sheets of toilet paper, push it down, and then I cast out, and I'll never get the bait flying out the tubes when I cast. I noticed the other day I was watching Autistic Angler, he had one of these. I noticed when he cast, his baits shot out of his tube. So what I found is tissue paper, I'll go for 4 sheets, dunk it in, push it down, Bob's your uncle, it'll be spot on. I've never had no troubles. And I know most of you say, but will they tangle up in flight? I would say out of 10 cast, I will get 1 tangle when I bring it in, but not very rarely it happens. But this is how I use this is called a device. This is what I'll be using dangerously soon. And hopefully the places ain't there when I use my wishbone. Okay then, there you go. Okay, these are two of my sports free reels I've got. I've got the Surfmaster 850. There's those 2. They got to be years old now, these are. Because that was the I think it's the 8000 now, and I've only got the 850. The 750 is smaller, but there's donkeys old these reels, but they're still going, they still work. Okay then, I've done a bit of demo. Okay, that's my little bit of tips and bits and my tackle bag, very pleased with, and me reel flatfish rig. A lot of people haven't heard of it, but I use that most of the time. As I said, I caught bream, cod, every fish you can think of, I've caught on a real flatfish rig. I don't know why, but I just have. And a little bit of demo on the device I've got, but I can't remember what you call that, the new ones now. I know Bill sells them, but someone else has taken over them. So please subscribe, like, and notifications please, for some more little bits and bobs I might do. Thank you.